Good morning, anyone who pops in. It's 9:18 on Saturday. Have my coffee. It is cool and wet. It's raining outside. Not heavy, but just a light rain. So hello, whoever popped in here. Good morning. Hmm. Hey, Farina, Vincent. Rain last night. Yes, so we had snow last weekend, and then it melted, and we've had rain basically since then. We had it ended up it took till Tuesday for the snow to melt, and then for Halloween it rained all the way till about 5:20, and then it stopped raining for the trick or treaters, and then it rained shortly after 9. So it was good for the trick or treaters not to get completely soaked, because I've done trick or treating in the rain with my kids, and we didn't last very long. And we were all miserable. I think I was more miserable because I have to walk with them. But this time was not bad. Did you get a lot of trick or treaters where you are, or did they do that on Saturday for you guys? Because I've heard some places in the States they do the trick or treating on the Saturday before Halloween. I'm not looking forward to this. Yeah, I'm not looking forward. I am, but I'm not. No trick or treaters. We moved past. Okay, cool. Are you all set up in your new place? I know some friends of mine when they've moved, they've like spent like a couple days and they're all set up. I'm like, okay, it took me like each time I moved, it took me like a month to get things tolerable of setup. And even then, like, because when I moved here, no, actually, when I moved to my old place before here, when I had just Rowan, I was supposed to go back to work a couple weeks after we moved. I couldn't because I could barely find where all the clothes were or all the baby stuff and all that stuff. Like, I didn't go back to work till like a month later, like, and even then it was rough. Just making sure everything was there. Holly, I am in a mess, but it's livable. Been doing moving vids on her page, Valerie Reese. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna check here. Are you subscribed to her on your channel? I'm just gonna try and go and check it out there. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna subscribe to her. Because I was gonna say that's what I do. So I just went to your channel there and I subscribed. Very cool. Tell her I'm supporting her. Are you living with her? So, um, very good. I was for 8 years. Now I'm on my own. Awesome. Are you a single parent? Just because from your description you talk about you and your kids, but I don't see a mention of the kid's father or that. Well, sometimes it's definitely cheaper if you can live with your parents, um, and save up money for stuff on your own. And then it's easier is that you have like an in-house babysitter too. That is uninvolved. He does his visitation time, but doesn't too much. My Facebook is all about that. Faye Vincent. Very cool. And you have two kids? Two boys? How many kids do you have? Sorry to hear of the bare minimum involvement that sometimes happens. Two boys, 10 and almost 15. 10 autism stuff, 15 has mixed. Ah, yes. And how are they doing in school? I have a 15-year-old as well, and a 17. Yes. Homeschool to Instagram. Boys, homeschool. Cool. Um, I'm Jenn in Kanata on Instagram, but I don't know how to really do Instagram very well, so there's not very many pictures on there. I'm Jenn in Kanata also on Pinterest and Twitter. Sometimes there's a jen.in.kanata, and sometimes it's just Jenn in Kanata. There's links below in the description. Feel free, and I'll sub you back or whatever. I'm just not. I'm not the techie savvy person. I'm more techie savvy than some of my friends, but I'm not very techie savvy on some things. My kids are more techie savvy. My husband, that's what he does for a living, so he's a techie. So that's why I keep him around, right? he he does all the techie stuff. I do the cooking. Awesome. I'll get a notification on there, and I'll sub you back. As you can see, I don't have much on there. I had started that account a couple of years ago because my oldest wanted an Instagram account, and so I set mine up, and then to kind of follow her and to help her set up hers to kind of see what it was like, because I was like, what's this Instagram thing? And then that's all I did to kind of, and then she does her own thing. So actually, my cat has an Instagram account because, well, from her. So I'm like, I'm subscribed to it. It's like not Princess Cat or something like that. I don't know. I have 3 instances. See, the thing is, I have to figure out. I have to figure out how to use Instagram to promote the YouTube, right? Or and to get and to actually use Instagram to be a tool versus just posting stuff every once in a while. But I just really haven't had the time to research that, because I don't want to necessarily stretch my efforts too thin and then not do anything well, you know. So my main focus is my YouTube, and then everything else is kind of just there to support. Like same with Twitter. I signed up for Twitter, and I retweet people's stuff that I find important or that. But my husband is more of a Twitter fan than I am. So, and actually, my oldest does Snapchat, which I don't do. But homeschool to show what boys do for family and friends, and so that I can't argue kids do nothing. Yes. Whereabouts are you in this world? Are you in the States or in Canada? Because I know in the States, a lot of the different areas have a lot of different laws concerning homeschool. Same with Canada, too. Ontario is actually really lenient on homeschool laws. Like, you just have to say you're homeschooling, and you're kind of left alone. You don't have to report stuff for that. I have a friend who does basically unschooling with her kids, so she goes with whatever theme that her kids are interested in and lets them research it and do stuff. Here we turn in any reports and send notice to the superintendent, but no strict rules. Okay, I know some have really strict rules, and that here also, but here in Canada, in Quebec, which is the province next door to us, like my husband works in Quebec, we live in Ontario, in Kanata, which is the west end suburb of Ottawa. It's like a 30-minute drive where he works, and in Quebec, if you homeschool, you have to submit like a monthly report card of what your child did to, I don't know, to some, maybe to the superintendent, I don't know. And sorry, my eyes itchy. And also I think the superintendent goes and visits you or something, or somebody of that governing body comes and visits you once a year to see the progress or whatever. And it's like, it's very regulated. And if you try and do stuff like unschooling, where you don't have a lot of documentation, it's more of like life experiences and going with the theme or whatever, there's a lot of like backlash. You can get fined or whatever, or get children's services involved or whatever. I don't know. I've heard horror stories from friends who have lived over in Quebec on like close to the Ottawa border because it's cheaper over there than here, and they moved over here even though it's more expensive because of all of the government and the bureaucracy involvement and the making it so much more difficult to do it there. So when my kids were small, I used to supplement their education at home and kind of do like homeschooling at home, but to supplement what they learned at school, because they never really spent a lot of time on certain things. So whatever they were doing at school, I found other resources and did them here. The silly cat is walking around. And tried to help get more rounded areas. Now, like with the kids, when they do their work and stuff, I help them with their work and edit stuff. But they're now in high school. So I have a 17 and a 15-year-old. So Do you work outside of the home too? I know, they're almost grown. I can't believe it. I still remember them giving birth to them. I'm like, no, I have one that's graduating this year. I'm like, what? I mean, I remember kindergarten and leaving her to go, to go off to kindergarten, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. I just helped her apply to a local college here. So here, college is a 2 year, usually a year program. Sometimes a 1 year extended, like a all year program, and sometimes 3 years. University is a 4 year, 3 or 4 year program. They get degrees there. College is more of like your community colleges, and then university is like your college and universities. So I'm a guy that works a good job, and we found a recently placed place. Well, that's good. Yeah, because I was gonna say it'd be hard to, well, it'd be hard to do homeschooling and work unless you could work opposite times of your partner or um, your kids. Because I mean, your oldest is old enough to be at home and watch his little brother if he's responsible enough. But and do you get any supports since both of your kids have um, a learning disability? Well, one has ADHD and one has, um, I guess that would that be a mental disability? The other one? Hard to do both. I used to home daycare for 3 years and do college classes. It was hard. Hey, Tom Tom, how's it going? Yeah. And my friend who does unschooling with her kids, like her oldest is now an adult, um, but her youngest is 13, I think. And she works almost full-time hours, but as a minimum wage job, and is also doing online college courses. Just because she doesn't have anything besides high school, and living minimum wage jobs are not going to get you ahead. That's for sure. My kids are in the program for Christmas gifts and events, and I put them in therapies. But yeah, neurological. So yeah, because so you have autism, and you have, did you say ADHD? Yeah, see, for here, autism, you'd be able to get, I think, disability for autism, but not for ADHD. ADHD would be considered a learning disability. Like, I just got diagnosed with ADHD myself, but I just recently, but for 40 years, I've been making do. I was just trying to look back what you said. You had autism and stuff. It has mixed mood disorder, ADHD. Yeah, we can get this disability, but it would affect child support. So I'm waiting until they're 18. Why would it affect child support? See, that's why I don't understand why it would. Your child support should be the difference of it's a type of, but it's not even yours. Oh, yeah. So yeah, for kids. So here in Canada, the way it works, if kids have disabilities, like I have a daughter who's blind. She can't. I can't get disability for her unless we were low income. Okay, but on taxes, we have a child tax credit, so we get money. Well, it just started now. Before we used to be able to get discounted on our income and get some money each month for having kids for one, and if your child has a disability, you get more. and it goes by your income. So if we were poorer, like I'm a stay-at-home mom, so if we were working, say, both minimum wage jobs or whatever, we gain more per month from the government. But then at 18, it would stop. But then at 18, you could apply for Ontario disability for them, and they can get, it would be in their name, not your name. So if they were living at home, they'd get a few $100s a month for living at home. If they were living on their own, they'd get more, but not. If they were living on their own, they'd get about $1,200 a month. But the problem is, rent here is for a one-bedroom apartment is just under 1,000. So that's not really um, that helpful. So in that type of situation, they need to like get together with other people and have a roommate or something like that. But what's interesting with that is if they're in school, like if they're in college or university, if they have a job and they earn an income, any income that they earn while they're in school, they don't get it taken off their check. If they earn income when they're not in school, the first $200 that they earn is free, and then every dollar, 50% of that is deducted from your check. So if they earned $1,000, 500 would be deducted from their check. So your check, instead of 1,200, would be 700. So it's kind of trying to help you get off disability, if you can. A few hundred would help go towards school and stuff. Rent here is crazy. Yep. Wow. You can't get anything for under $500 here. Here, a room in someone's house is $600. A room, just a bedroom. Like if where you would have access to their kitchen, and you might have your own bathroom, but probably not. You have access to a bathroom. Um, a bachelor or one bedroom apartment is about 1,000, like just under 1,000. Um, Two-bedroom apartment is at least 1,200. A townhouse, minimum 1,400 to about $2,500 to get a townhouse. And if you wanted to rent like an actual house, like you're paying at least 2,500, if not more. And I'm like, no, nobody can afford that. It's much cheaper to buy and pay your mortgage um, than that. Especially if you buy a townhouse and the mortgage on that is going to be less than what you'd pay in rent. But you have to have a down payment and be approved and all that stuff. Head out to the store and stuff. Well, thanks very much, Faye, for popping by and saying hi. Catch you later. You have a wonderful day, and tell your kids I say hi. Yes, I will do that now. Go to and sub you back there. Do, do, do. So, Tom, what are your plans today? Well, anybody still here? I'm wondering if everybody's gone. Well, I hope everybody has a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye, friends.